Hello and welcome to The Record. The Oberammergau Passion play is performed every 10 years in an open-air stage in the Bavarian town of Oberammergau in Germany. Next year, 2020, will mark the 42nd production of the world-renowned play. Today we are speaking with actor Frederik Mayet, who will next year perform the role of Jesus for the second time. Frederik, welcome to Perth. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about the Oberammergau Passion play and what it's all about.
The Passion play of Oberammergau is one of the largest and oldest theater traditions in the world. So it all started like almost 400 years ago. In those days, the Black Plague came to Ammergau because in the 30 Years' War, the Swedish troops came to the area. And there was one man, he was working in a neighbor village, and he wanted to see his family, and so he came over the mountains and he brought the Black Plague into the town, and nobody knew what was happening. Everybody thought it's a punishment by God, and so the inhabitants of Oberammergau made a vow, so if God takes this disease away, we will perform the Passion play every 10 years. And the history says that from this day, no one died anymore. And so now in Oberammergau, we play the Passion play for almost 400 years. It has a very long tradition. We have today we have around about 1,850 participants, adult participants, and furthermore 500 to 600 children taking part in the play. And of course, the Passion play it starts with the entrance in Jerusalem, of Jesus entering in Jerusalem, and ends with the resurrection. And today we have so in the last Passion play we had about almost 500,000 visitors from all over the world. So half of the visitors came from Germany, and the other half from other countries. A lot from the USA, from Canada, from Scandinavia, from the Netherlands, but also from Australia.
It's good to hear.
And for us, it's also very special. We are so proud of being part of this long tradition. So and we are also really looking forward to next year, because it's such a nice thing for the community. You really grow together as a community. We will start with the rehearsings in end of November this year, and then we will rehearse for half a year. And then we have the opening night in mid of May, and then we will have over 100 performances almost every day, except Monday and Wednesday. And so you really grow together as a community, and that's something really special for us also.
Thanks very much for that. We have a little video that we'll show as well, so if you'd like to just turn your attention.
Halleluja! Ist erstanden!
So, Frederik, this is your second time playing Jesus. Tell us why this has become your dream role.
Oh, First, it wasn't really a dream role. So the first time I was elected, before in 2010, I really did not expect to play this role, because 10 years before, in 2000, I played the disciple John. And for me, I had so much respect of the role, and I never imagined that I could one day play this role. So, and I was then 10 years ago when I was elected the first time, I was really surprised. So I couldn't believe it. And the first days, I felt a lot of pressure on my shoulders, because a lot of, from one day to the other, everyone knows you in the village. Before, you have some friends, and of course you know some people, but from the other day, everyone looks at you and says, "Oh, this is our new Jesus. How will he play it? How will he do it?" So and then it took me a while to understand that it's to understand that everyone who's coming to Oberammergau has a certain picture of Jesus in mind. And I said, "Oh, I hope I can deal with the expectations people have." And then we started to, for example, we saw a lot of movies about Jesus. We had some Jesus film nights where we watched like Pasolini, but also Jesus Christ Superstar and Mel Gibson. And then I read a lot of books, and I read in the Gospels. And so for me, slightly, I found out, it's always an interpretation of Jesus, and and we have to find an interpretation for us, together with the director Christian Stückel. And so we had a long rehearsal time. We also went with the main cast to Israel and to visit the holy sites, and that was really important for me to get into the role. And so it slowly developed, and I slowly grew into this role, and then more and more I was somehow happy about it. But in the first time, it was a lot of pressure for me.
So then how do you prepare for the role?
Yeah, for example, going to Israel is for me very important. We will go there to the Holy Land in the first week of September. We take our local priest with us, the Protestant and the Catholic, and we go with the main roles. We are a group of 50 persons roundabout, and we go there and visit the holy sites. And that's, I think, really important to understand how it perhaps happened 2,000 years ago, and how the situation was. And if you sit, for example, at the Lake of Galilee and you watch over the lake, and then you get an impression of how it was 2,000 years ago, and that helped me a lot to get into the role. And then the rehearsal starts end of November, and then we will have rehearsals for half a year, almost every day. And that's then a very intense time for us. Then we discuss a lot about the text, about the situation, about Jesus and what we are telling.
Perhaps you can tell us, how long does it take to grow your hair and your beard?
Yeah, we have also a certain tradition in Oberammergau. It's always on Ash Wednesday, the year before the Passion Play. Everyone has to let the hair grow, and the man the beard. So it's the so-called, in German you say Haar- und Barterlass, the hair and beard edict. So the community says on Ash Wednesday, everyone has to let the hair grow. And so there are only exceptions, for example, the Roman soldiers. So those are the roles which really are the favorite roles of a lot of men in Oberammergau, because they're allowed to shave and to have short hair. And there are also exceptions for those who participate, for example, in the orchestra. But for all the other, it says you have to let the hair grow. So I'm really looking forward how the village looks like when I go back to Germany, to Oberammergau.
So then how does it feel, or moreover, how do you feel to be on the cross and to be playing that role?
Really, the first time I was put on the cross, that was really, of course, strange, because you have this picture in your mind, and you see the crosses in Bavaria almost everywhere, in the churches and on the fields, and then the first time I was put on the cross, so it was just a rehearsal, and we were only some people, and it wasn't in the play, but it felt so strange to to do this gesture on the cross, and because the first time that the cross is put up, you have almost the feeling of falling off the cross, and but then it is one of the most intense scenes in the play. So the first time I played it in front of the audience, it was, you really can see and feel how the audience is touched by the scenes. The scene is in our Passion play around about 20 minutes long, so you're almost 10 minutes on the cross, pretending to die and the suffering and the last words, and then you're on the cross another 10 minutes trying to be very calm. And the moment Jesus dies on the cross, it's absolutely calm in the audience. So we in the Passion Play Theater, we have around about 4,500 seats, and usually you always hear someone like coughing or in the textbook reading, but in this moment it's for like seconds. You can hear a pin drop, so it's really, and you can feel how the audience is also in the scene and going along with the play. So it's very moving and touching for oneself.
So then how does it affect your own faith? What does it mean for you as a Catholic?
For me, it's so different. If you go to the church on Sundays, you usually it's always or if you read in the Gospels, it's always the text you have and you hear, and it's absolutely different if you play it or if you try to bring it on stage. It's like in music, you have sometimes the Bach oratorium. It's about the Matthäus Passion, the Passion of Matthew. So then you tell the story of the Passion with the means of music, and we do it with theater means, and that's for us. And for my belief, you have the feeling that you get very close to this person, but of course it was absolutely different 2,000 years ago. For example, being on the cross, it was so brutal 2,000 years ago, and we only play it, but still it's very hard and suffering to play it. But I have the feeling I understood a lot more about Jesus than I did before.
How then do you want it to affect the faith of the people that who come to watch?
I think, I don't know, we have 500,000 visitors from all over the world. I think a lot of come because for them it's very important. For them it's a pilgrimage, and it's very important for their belief. But we also have visitors, they come because they say it's such a long tradition, you have to see it. Or and I also know people, they came and said, oh, I don't have anything to do with church anymore, with faith. For me, it's far away, but let's go and see it. And I met some, they told me afterwards, oh, now I was really touched, and I have to rethink about faith and religion and the story again. And I think for everyone who comes to the Passion Play can take something with him, with her, and or see something. And I think, but this happens with. I think that's for everyone very, very different. But of course, I think most of the people who come to see the Passion Play, for them it's like a pilgrimage, and they can take something with for their faith somehow.
How? So, what's then your role as Jesus? How it's been interpreted differently at different times.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned, the different Passion shows, movies that you've watched. What's your priority?
I talked a lot already with Christian Stückel, the director, about it, and he said, I think he right now he writes new again on the text. So in Oberammergau, the tradition is always we don't have a medieval play, and we don't play the same text for 400 years. And the tradition of Oberammergau is that we always have a new text, new stage design, new costume designs, And it always goes with the time, because I think you have to reach the people today, and you have to find something in the Gospels which helps them today. And so I think Christian Stückle said, so now he has the feeling that the world in the last 10 years changed so much, and he wants to show more like a social revolutionary. He said he had so many ideas, and he, for example, he said, Jesus said, it's more likely that a camel goes through the needle than a rich man goes to heaven. And I think, in our world today, a lot of people are very, very rich, or some people are very rich. 10% of the have like 90% of the possession worldwide, and that's something I think you have to say or look at it and to say, no, that there is something wrong. And I think this will be a strong part again in 2020, and to look on this topic.
Frederik, thank you very much for your time today. It's been great to interview and to hear how the role of Jesus is going to be played in 2020.
Thank you.